How you doing there, guys, and welcome back to another little video with me, your authentic Cockney. Now I've gone and got something I think will demonstrate the Cockney language perfectly. I think it's fantastic for ASMR, and it is this: the Bible, but in Cockney. So if anyone wants the Bible broken down a little bit easier to digest, especially if you're from East London, then this is the book for you. So I'm going to zoom in, taking it easy, nice and slow, reading through with a pointer, and we can go through together the Bible, but in Cockney. Hope you enjoy it. At dinner, guys, so let's start off with one I think we probably all know. This is Noah's Ark, or in Cockney, Noah and his big nanny goat. They can guess nanny goat is boat in Cockney. So let's move it up slightly. Noah was a good geezer, and he lived close to God during his daily walk. He did his best to tell others about how to live a good walk and please God. Now, God was not happy with the human race. They was a shambles, a real dodgy lot. God decided to destroy them all with a blooming big flood, except Noah, his family, and each of all the animals. They were to build a massive nanny, the ark, and save themselves. Now sit down in your old here and there and enjoy the story. The geezer Noah. This is a story of a geezer called Noah. He had 3 currents: Shem, Ham and Japheth. Noah was a right good geezer. He didn't do anything wrong. He was the only good geezer of his lemon. God was well pleased with him, but all the other people God was well angry with. They were evil and violent. One day, God had a good old butchers at the world, and he weren't happy. It was evil. All the people were well dodgy. This is what God decided to do about it. God said to Noah, I'm fed up with everyone down there. I'm going to do away with them all. There's nothing but violence down there. I'm not having any more of it, innit? I want you to build a big nanny made from really good wood. You're to make loads of rooms in it, and you're to cover the old nanny with tar inside and out. That should keep the fishermen out. Now, the nanny has got to be 133 metres long, 22 metres wide and 13 metres high. You need to make a roof for the nanny, and you're to leave at least 44 centimetres between the roof and the sides. I want you to build the nanny with 3 decks, and you're to put a big rory in the side. I'm going to send more fishermen than you've ever seen. I'll cause a massive flood, and I'll wipe out every living thing. Everything on the earth will end up brown bread, but me and you will come to a little arrangement. I'll make a covenant with you, a very important agreement. Now, go into the nanny with your trouble, your currents, and their troubles. I also want you to take into the nanny with you a male and female of every kind of animal and Richard. This is to make sure that they stay alive. I want you and take a load of food with you to feed yourselves and all the animals. Noah did absolutely everything that God asked him to do. All the people living round and about must have thought that Noah was a complete loony, building a great big nanny with no fishermen around. But Noah, Adam and Eve did in God and trusted him alone. The blooming great big flood. God then said to Noah, "Okay, me old China, I want you to get into the nanny with all your family. You are the only geezer in the world, the whole blooming world, who does the right thing. That's why I'm saving you and your family. I want you to take with you 7 pairs of each kind of ritually clean animal, and 1 pair of each kind of animal that is not clean in a religious way. You're also to take 7 pairs of each kind of Richard. I'm asking you to do this, Noah, so that every kind of animal and Richard will be kept alive, and then later they can make lots of other animals and Richards to fill the earth again. 7 days from now, you're going to see more Andy Kane than you've ever seen in your folk. It will keep on raining for 40 days and 40 nights. And every living thing is going to be done in. As ever, Noah did everything that God asked him to do. And just here, got a little bit of a picture. I'm a bit zoomed in so you can't see the full thing, but there's the ark up there, look. And down here, all the animals coming down. And these elephants here, the same. I preferred it on the ark. With plates, they're killing me already. Plates meaning plates of meat, feet. My feet are killing me. Now would you Adam and Eve it? Noah was 600 years old when the big flood came. And he had his trouble and his currents and their troubles. Went into the great big nanny to be saved from the flood. Males and females of every kind of animal and Richard also went into the nanny with Noah, just like God had wanted. 7 days later, it started to Andy and Andy and Andy, meaning rain, obviously. I think you get the idea. The flood came. Think about the worst Andy you've ever been in. This was 1,000,000 times worse. It carried on like this for 40 days and 40 nights. When everybody got aboard the nanny, God shut the massive Rory behind them. The flood carried on for 40 days, and the fishermen became so blooming deep that the nanny was able to float. The fishermen got deeper and deeper, and eventually the nanny started to drift along. Even the highest mountains in the world were covered up by the fishermen, and it was at least 7 meters above the tops. Anything that had lived on the earth was now brown bread. Every animal, every Richard, and all the people. Basically, anything that could breathe air was now brown bread. God destroyed the old blooming lot, just like he said he would. The only ones left were Noah and all those that were there with him in the nanny. The fishermen didn't even start going down for at least 150 days. The fisherman goes down. Now don't think that God forgot about Noah and all the animals in the nanny, because he didn't. This is what happened. God made a huge wind begin to blow, and the fishermen started to go down. No more rain. The fishermen started going down for 150 days, and on the 7th day of the 7th month, the nanny stopped flowing and ended up lying on the top of a mountain in the Iraq range, I believe. Or Iraq range. The fishermen kept on going down and down and down. And on the first day of the 10th month, you could see all the tops of the mountains. 40 days Alligator. Noah opened up one of the windows in nanny, and he took out one of the Richards, a raven, and sent it out flying. The raven didn't come back. It just flew around until all the fishermen had gone. Noah then sent out a little dove to see if the fishermen had finally gone down. Now, there was still a load of fishermen everywhere, and the poor little birdie couldn't find anywhere to land. So, it flew back to the nanny. Noah stretched out his Ramsgate and took the little Richard in. Noah then waited for another 7 days and sent the little dove out again. The dove returned again in the evening, but this time it had a fresh olive branch in its snout. Now Noah knew that the fishermen had finally gone down. 7 days later, he sent the dove out again, and his lemon, it didn't come back. On the first day of the month, when Noah was 601 years old, that the fisherman was gone, Noah took the top covering off of the nanny, and he had a good bushes around, and he could see that the safe was getting dry. On the 27th day of the second month, the safe was nice and dry. God then said to Noah, "Get out the nanny now, Noah, me old China. Take your trouble, your currents and their troubles. Take all the Richards and the animals out with you, so that they will make lots and lots of other Richards and animals, and then they'll be spread all over the earth." Noah did as God said. He left the nanny with his trouble, his currents and their troubles. All the animals and Richards also left the nanny in their own little groups. Noah says ta to God and offers a little sacrifice. Noah then built a little altar, a sort of Cain and Abel, where you can offer sacrifices to the Lord. He then took one of each kind of ritually. Remember this, Dicky? It means for religious reasons. Clean animal and Richard, and he burnt them as a sacrifice on the altar. God was well happy with the wonderful William of his sacrifice, and he said to himself, "I'm never going to punish the whole earth again because of what people do. I'm not daft. I know that from the very lemon that are young, they're going to have dodgy thoughts. I'm never going to do away with all the living things again. Not like I have done this lemon. As long as this little world I have made exists, there is always going to be a lemon for people to plant their crops and harvest from. There is always going to be potatoes in the mould and eat, summer and winter, day and night." God makes a special agreement with Noah. God was well happy with Noah and his currents. He blessed them and said, have loads of saucepans, so that all those who came after you, your descendants, will live over the whole earth. You'll be in charge of all the animals, the Richards and the Lydian Gish. You'll be able to eat them, as well as loads of green plants. I'll give all of this to you, so that you can have a good old feed. But you can't eat any meat that has still got its blood in it, because me old China, the fork, is in the blood. Now, if anyone kills anyone, they're going to have to be punished. And if any animal kills a person, that animal will be killed. Listen up, Noah. All people were made like God. So if anyone ever kills a person, they are going to have to be killed by someone else. Make sure you have loads of saucepans, so that all your descendants will live all over the earth. Right then, said God to Noah and his currents, I'm now going to make my special little covenant with you and all those who come after you, and with all living things, the Richards and the animals. In other words, everything that came out the nanny with you. With these dickies, I'm going to make my agreement with you. I'm going to promise you here and now that I'm never going to cause a huge flood and wipe out the old blooming world again. Just to show you that I mean this, I'm going to put a beautiful rainbow up in the clouds. Have a butcher's. What a lovely rainbow. This is my little sign of the agreement we just made. Whenever it is dull and rainy and a lovely rainbow appears, I'll always remember the promise I made you and to all the animals, and that there will never be a flood again that will destroy everything. I'll always remember the agreement that I had made. Each time I see the rainbow in the sky, this is my little sign of the promise I'm making to every living thing. So there you go, guys, just a little bit of the Cockney Bible for you. I might read you another one on another video. I do hope you enjoyed that. If you want to like, subscribe, leave some comments. Leave me some comments on what you might want to see me do next in my Cockney accent with a bit of ASMR. Cheers, guys. Take care.